Yeah, there it is. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's double check the music. Nah, I think it's working. It's just pretty dang quiet. But thank you for that. I should have definitely looked at that. So how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Mustafa moves to the Ottomans. Excellent minister until death. Prestige. Sure. Gonna good wrapping up your EU5 session for the day. Are you a streamer? Or do you just mean like just finishing up your game? Siege ability plus 20, 15%. Let's go ahead and siege. Yeah, just play session. You just done with the session, and or do you have like something to attend to? All right, what should we focus on? Culture trade capacity. Unlock buildings, privateering, exploration cost, or range. No, you're done. You play for 5 hours. Whew. Yep. It can happen. So how's your empire doing? Did you recover it? Economy wise? You have? Nice. If you haven't done court or country yet, you really want to prepare. What do you mean? Is there something in absolutism that I should know? Besides, obviously, the court and country disaster. Ah, that's what you mean. We are not in a civil war. We went from 9k to 15 base tax. Nice. I'm just at 2k. But I'm sure you're way further in the game than I am, so you can't avoid its normal means. So you said prepare, so what's the best way to prepare for this? Centralization of our country has accumulated between the court and the country. Depending on how we handle this difficult time, we might come out of a stronger country than before. If we manage to weather the storm, of course. So what did you do with that event? Because it seems like if you can handle this difficult time, you might become a stronger country. So that seems like there might be a way out. That might be better than something else. Yeah, this is my first run with EU5. I'm playing as Castile offline, but obviously EU4 isn't the same exactly. But yeah, I've played a lot of EU4. I almost have 1,000 hours on it. Yeah, so some of these mechanics are all new. Set an advisor to either liberalism or absolutism and try to have max stab, legitimacy, and good bank. Good bank as in, like, income-wise? Zero stability. And now you recall? Just a bunch of money. And do you know exactly when this will fire? Oh, from yesterday I mentioned it. So you're moving up. Or I mentioned something about it. In the next 10 years for sure. Okay. Yeah, because I think after this war, and we take a bunch of stuff, a bunch of the colony land, I mean, basically the New World is going to be pretty pissed at me, so I do want to stay at peace for quite some time and start integrating some of my vassals, because they all hate me because they're too strong. So all except for one of my colonies, basically. So I think I might have to raise a bigger army so I look stronger and try to integrate them. You did it yesterday in 45. And that was late. Hmm. And then some new mechanic right here is the Columbian exchange. Exchanging goods between the new and the old world, it seems like. I only have livestock. Okay, got all that. Let's go over here. So a lot going on, come on. Research. Clergy gets pissed, or let's go ahead and grab that research. The number there are just how much everyone has used the mechanic. You can change trade goods. RGOs can be changed to someone else. Where is... So that's just the New World area. Hmm. So it just costs a little bit of money and prestige. Okay. So how much war score with Castile do I have? 18. Ideally, money war reps. It resets the expansion to 1, but it's worth it. Let me grab war reps. Oh, we could take maps too. But it's not exactly highlighting which ones, which kind of sucks. But I want war reps. War reps, all your money, and as much land as I could take, basically. So 100 piece deal right there. Where is this guy going? Why is he going down? Huh. Don't know why he's going down. I thought I told him to go over here. Okay. So stab is good, legitimacy is good. How much money would you say I should stack up and have in reserves? Loyalty from subjects. Let's see if we can get that. Shoosh, only 16. Oh, you can? Wow. That bad, huh? Hopefully we can win an event for that. Spend more on stab. If you go the liberal route, get minus is 50, and the absolute is 80, I think. 50 of what? Is it gonna, are you gonna lose 50 stability? Is what you're talking about? Yeah, stability. And 80 for absolutism. So that's why we need to have higher stab. But even with 80, losing 80 right now is still not gonna be terrible. So after the event fires, you have to choose either liberal or absolutism. And you have to pick a side, basically. Yeah. I guess we could decide then. That way, 'cause I don't know exactly what the benefits of each of them are. Okay, so I think Castile... I think we are ready to... I think we're ready to just be done with this war. The disaster goes on for 10 to 20 years. If you want to get out early, you have to do a bunch of stuff. Alright, so Castile, money, war reps, and all of this land. And that way I can at least touch Peru, who is also my subject. And yeah. And I think it's just New World colonies that are going to be pissed, but eh. And then Portugal, they're at 20. I would like to also take all your money. War reps. And then take as much land as I can. But specifically what land? It's medicine, beeswax, some gold down here, and some gems. Oh, that's part of their capital. Never mind. Gold over here, so we will go here, 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 and there. A lot of gold. It's gonna be a nice, fancy looking colony here. So far, they're just colonies that will be mad. There's more gold over here. Okay. And then I think we'll just... there's more over here. Just taking all their gold. Then there's some gems, some copper. And then I think that might be it. Just take coastal. You know, that's what you do in EU5. We'll just have a lot of colonies, you know? Have you played the colony game? Like, should you have a bigger colony or should you break them up? As Spain, I was just breaking them up a lot. Man, that's so much land I could take. Wow. I'm a warmonger. Yeah, so still they're just colonies. Your first game you played as Spain, but was when it was on release. The colony game was pretty broken. Well, I can't say if it was fixed or not because I don't recall. Well, I didn't obviously buy the game on release, so I waited because I knew there was going to be a bunch of bugs, and I didn't want the game to be ruined because of the bugs. Yeah, because I don't really. I think there's really any bugs right now. The only bug I see is you know, when your colony kind of finishes and it gives you the event to keep it, create a new subject, or give it to your subject. Sometimes it doesn't select the two, at least the two colonies are next to it. Sometimes it selects one that's next to it and a different colony that's like miles away for some reason. Which is, I don't know. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. Let's see. I'm just taking whatever at this point. They're so cheap. But look at this. Okay, so and we're going to be at peace for a while, so a lot of these are going to be leaving, and it's all colonies. I don't care. Because this colonies... I don't recall. Can colonies create their own war? So I think they can declare war on other colonies, right? We're going to be neighbors. Okay, there we go. So they will not accept that yet. And that's going to piss off... Control left click to select the whole province. Thanks for the tip. So everyone here are colonies or natives. Yeah, the whole war stuff was broken on release, and I was never sure on the intentions behind it. The rules didn't seem to matter. Well, there's not much else we can siege from Portugal, so I will maybe take less money. There we go. So that will be that. Okay, so now I think I will... I guess I should have taken some land here to clear some of that up. Yeah, let's give Peru some of that. Colony nation. And then Peru. Really? I have some control here? There's no way. There's no way I have control here. Maybe it needs to reset? Because I don't think... Cause so far I have automized the cabinet, so... Okay, we got a monthly tick. Converting, trade advantage. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. 0. Okay, so let's create somebody. We'll create somebody's nation. On that fort. I don't know about you, but I don't know. And I don't know how I feel about big countries. Because as the game will progress, they're just going to get stronger and they're going to want peace or independence. So I'm kind of feeling like keeping small nations. Probably split this in 2 or so. And then probably one over here. With subjects, with all the changes lately, I don't know. But you can annex the colonies, right? We are not annexing the subject. Our subject needs to have... Oh, we can. Oh, colonies? Yeah, I have no idea. Says we are not annexing, but... If you had 190 opinion, can you? But yeah, U4 you can't. So it says we cannot do it. I don't know. Too big is bad because of proximity. Yeah. don't know, maybe I should have another guy down here. Just to keep them small. But it does allow me to create vassals down here. Because colonies will spread. But if I were to keep a vassal, let's try to make a vassal. Change it up. Because I think the colonies will automatically be same religion, same primary culture. Yeah, both Turkish primary culture. And it should be the same religion. Yeah, because there's nothing to enforce. And then what about the vassal? Different primary culture. See, that kind of doesn't make sense. Because you're forming a nation that's your vassal. So it feels like it should be the same. And then they're not the same religion. And then we're sending a leader that's basically from our country. Like, does it not make sense to have it be the same? So yeah, we have to enforce religion and culture. Nice. So that's one bad thing of creating a vassal. Inflation is apparently going up. Okay, well that is that. So now that we are at peace, we have all that money. We should probably spend on Diplo spending. So our vassals can like us, and hopefully we can start integrating somebody. Actions. Subject, can we annex anybody? There's one. Vassals takes culture and religion from their land. Yeah, but you know, if you're coming as the conquistador, basically, why not create a subject of your own, you know? It's kind of like the United States, like when it was formed. It did not take the values of the natives, it took the basically culture of England. Yeah, I don't need to integrate that guy. Or should I? They're pretty puny. It's not gonna make much of a difference besides pissing people off even more. So who... Is this a subject? They're kind of far. Or maybe they could just implement a event where you could decide on which side you want to do. Enforce, culture, and maybe get a penalty with population debuff. Alexandria. So these guys are the main ones that we may have a chance. Army levies are raised? Oh yeah, that 9 stack. Right. And then our armies. Yeah, we just want to just chill. And Castile. Show superiority, you know? So we can... I have a 9 stack over here, right? Yeah. So we can for sure lower maintenance. We could definitely spend some more on Diplo. Max it out. So where are you guys at? You're at 50, so we could integrate. Right? No. Is it because of their opinion? Yeah, it needs to be at least at 150. I would prefer if there was somebody closer. Especially Kara. Because they're the strongest. They're at 19. Van Den is also pretty strong. They're at 28. Alexandra's at 30, but I don't think with opinion that will be enough because they're already at 200. Oops, no. Mean. Is there a map mode that shows like more subjects? Like a map mode that shows their loyalty mainly? Or am I just wishing for one? I do not know. So ideally, I would like to integrate the ones closest to my capital, but I don't think I can. You guys are at 30, but you're at 200 already. Diplomacy? Yeah, it's the only thing that shows up. And then it gives you a list. Oh, the window. I see. You mean this list right here? Yeah, the overall. So Peru loves me. Nice. So Barca. Grebo, I think, is the little single province by Castile. And then colonies. Then the rest of the colonies. So yeah, that's... all I have is just Barca. That's at least big. So the only other option is to increase the size of my army. But it's also a waste of money if I don't keep them. And like you said, you should probably just save up the money. Because I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do, is raise the army. Ooh. I think I'll move him here for now. I don't like when they do that, come on. And these guys will just move to our vassal. You get up to plus 30 for maxing relations with them. Yeah, some of them are already maxed, but they're still not happy. So these guys aren't. Improving our relations, 71. But yeah, we could for sure use our diplomats to at least increase that. Trust me, the disaster will prevent any idea of annexing until it's done anyways. Well, I'm assuming you mean during the event, right? Because right now, I'm sure we can at least start annexing what we can. But at some point, it won't. Where's my ships? We're losing a crazy amount of manpower. So now we got Liberty Desire -5, which is good. Now we're losing money. Yeah, they will stop annexing when loyalty is below 50, yep. And they will mind it at 65-ish to 35. Yeah, at that point in the event, it's might as well cancel it. Did you cancel yours, or did you just leave it to the side and not cancel it? Okay, so one stack we will just take. No need, but just saying it's not a thing until the event is dealt with. Yeah, it sounds like fun. Oh, the Union. Man, the ticks though. Is your game pretty laggy? So I'm pretty sure it's everybody that's dealing with that, not just me. So I have a pretty good computer. New market underway. Okay, and then we'll bring you. And we're losing a bunch of money now, which I don't like. What's our tax? Or our trade? Trade income is 165. So it's definitely trade, because it's been, I think it's been at like 190. Yeah, the month ticks after 1600. I feel like it's kind of always been an issue, even in the beginning. Don't know what's up with your typing. No idea. But yeah, I feel like at least you could definitely notice it at the end of the month, even in the beginning of the game. But I think it might have improved with the beta, maybe. At least when I started. But now I'm starting to notice it like struggle a little bit more. And we are losing a bunch of money here. And that's with army down. So we're going to have to lower down Diplo spending. Let's change Diplo with the stability. And then how are we with Barca? I forgot which flag you are. Oops. Paradox has tried so many ways to smoothen the engine, and nothing really worked. And now we are back to doing so many calculations on a monthly tick. Just like EU4. Yeah, it's been a while since I played EU4. I don't quite remember how that went, but I'm pretty sure it was way smoother than this. Dude. Yeah, let's lose all our money. Gain some loans for some progress. As much as I would like the progress, no thanks. Oh, you mean when I came out? Yeah, that would make sense. I think it was 14? I don't remember, because I never bought the game when it on release date. E4, I don't know, when did I buy it? Like 2016, I think? Yeah, I think around there. State satisfaction. Or regain Truth of Faith. Let's see, legitimacy, which we are good with right now. I think maybe cabinet efficiency. Oh wait, no, it wasn't cabinet efficiency. It's states. Yeah, but by then it was 2016 whenever I got it. It was running fine. I mean, I didn't have the best computer because I really liked the game. I had like a store-bought one that couldn't really handle it. They can handle it in the beginning of the game, but as the game progresses, it was like, nope. So I built my own PC. And then it was like, beautiful. Everything was running pretty well. I'm not going to grant anyone anything. Yeah. Dude, we are losing so much money. What is going on? Trade is decreasing. Um, we're trying to make new trades, it seems like. Nothing there. Those were the times, 16 and 17 was my high time with EU4. Did my only... What is WC back then? World Conquest. Yeah. I think that was everybody. Everybody just was like playing the big blob. Yeah, so we're losing a bunch of money. I think we could decrease all of the Diplo spending until we can at least get the relations up. Ooh. And then just kind of deal with it then. Oh, minting can go up a hair. Do you know Quill18? He's a streamer. He got me into EU4. Oops. Yeah, you son of a gun. Okay, so I'm gonna not have him in charge. Yeah, you know him, you watch his stuff back then? Yeah, he's the one who got me into it. Because I think I started watching him around that time, 2016-ish, and I think I think it was like SimCity. SimCity is like the first game I watched him play. And then I think he got into like, not got into, but he started playing like EU4, City Skylines. So basically he introduced me to Paradox and their games. Then I think we're losing manpower because we are reinforcing. Other than that, we need to have these ships patrol. I think I'm gonna maybe split them in half. We'll go to the Black Sea. And then you guys will patrol down here. You start a paradox with Hearts of Iron 3. That was a different world. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was intrigued by Hearts of Iron 4 when it was coming out. Just like the mechanics of it, I guess. But I am not good at Hearts of Iron 4. No matter what I do, I always end up getting stuck with my troops or my line not being able to progress. I don't know. It always happens. Now we're making 300. Wow, the market just fluctuates too much. So we'll just go ahead and just earn that money. And we'll still wait until we have 150 with Barca, which we're basically there. 3, not 4. Yeah, I know. I know you said 3. I was just speaking about 4. Because that was my first Hearts of Iron. Yeah, because Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron 3, I did not play. I got basically into the new stuff. Yeah, started with EU4, Hearts of Iron 4, Victoria 3. I was close to getting Victoria 3, but I just wasn't too sure. No, I think I did buy Victoria 3. I just never really got into it because I think it just felt like too overwhelming to learn. I don't know. Johnny! There goes the days. Things made more sense back then. How are you, Johnny? But yeah, I'm really liking Hearts of EU5. I don't know, I've heard some people not liking EU5, but I don't care. I like it. It is much slower. Well, I don't know, because EU4, you also have a slow start, and it feels like everything is much more expensive. But then again, you have less buildings to build. Versus EU5, there's more buildings, so I don't know. I think EU4 just felt like you could barely buy things. Um, Not in Hearts of Iron 3. When you give an order to the units you had. Oh, really? The issue with EU5 is that there isn't much in the mid-game. There are only 200 years without much change. Well, I can't really add much to that since I haven't really played a full game yet. How many full games have you played? Because I haven't finished one yet. Lack of commander, that doesn't matter. Johnny, you've been pretty busy with school, but it's been going well. All right, Johnny, have a good day, and it's good that you're doing good with your schooling. I am studying to get my CDL. So far there's 3 tests, and so far I've passed the exams on an app. So I'm still studying to ingrain it in my mind, and maybe might take the final testing to get my permit at the end of the week. And then I don't know if that will be enough time to get into the school early next week or just give it another week, because there's some other things I need to do as well. Thank you, Johnny. Because working in the trades, it's not always fun. Labor intensive, and it's not consistent in work. Because usually, obviously, winter is like they'll slow down, but the work I've been doing in the past couple of years, it's not consistent even in summer sometimes, which is like the high point of when you know if a company is doing well or not, or the economy. Because in this case, it's the economy. But yeah, it's just not consistent, and I just been laid off so many times. I think all of my jobs in the trades have been laid off for different reasons. Mainly work, just being too low. And I am just tired of that. So from what I hear, trucking, it's more consistent. I think they have their only slow times, it's like, I don't know, I think it was like January to March. But for the most part, it's more demanding. And I've always kind of been skeptical of like getting into it, because I was just like, well, you have not slow driving vehicles, you have self-driving vehicles, like, is that gonna take over your jobs? And according to it, one of the schools that I was kind of interviewing to see if I wanted to pursue it or not, they said, no, I don't think trucking's gonna be gone anytime soon, as well as a friend who is a manager for one of those companies. They said no, trucking is not going to disappear, because it's kind of like trains. You still need a driver to manage it. Same with airplanes. You're going to still need someone to drive it or fly it in case something goes on or something happens with coding. So I can only assume it's going to be the same thing with self-driving trucks. Someone's going to have to be behind the wheel. Just like if you have a self-driving car, you are responsible if something bad happens, because you need to be alert. Nice, hope it works out for you. I hope so too. The US is a wild place, my friend. I do not envy you. Yeah, it is. Some people will point their fingers at the orange man. Some people will point their fingers on a blue state. I live in a blue state, so I don't know how things are in a red state, because obviously policies and everything are different, so I do not know what that looks like. Because I don't know, partly for me, pointing my finger on a blue state is the homeless problem. I mean, because they have so many programs and whatnot for the homeless, but they're not doing anything to help them get off the streets in the cities. And that is preventing big companies feeling comfortable leasing places, and then you have a bunch of broken windows that no one wants to repair, because I don't know if who's at fault for that, who has to repair it, if that's the person leasing the building or if that's the owner that has to repair it. And so what I've noticed is that nobody wants to lease the first floor. The first floor. So the city made a law that if you can't lease, if you're not able to lease your property on the first floor, you have to put art in there so it looks like it's occupied. The whole non-works protection is just not something I can fathom. It's tricky with the homeless. Some choose to be homeless, some, obviously weren't able to pay their bills and they're homeless, or a breakup. You just don't know what the story is behind it. Some want to take advantage of, free stuff. And it's just a whole thing that is really realistically needs to be fixed. But does the blue state really want to do that? No, I don't think they do, because it should have been a problem that would have been fixed. Or at least you would have seen a change, but there's no change. It's just a bunch of money going down the drain. Oh, we have a loan. I did not know we had a loan. But besides all of that, that's just why I want to get out of the trades, because there's just not a lot of work, consistent work. And can't even speak. Equinox, are you living in the States or are you living out of the States? Okay, so I think we might be at 150. You live in Germany? And how do you feel how life is over there? So if we... Wait, their opinion decreased. Hearing about... Yes, it's because there's two sides of the government, right? Republican and liberals versus Germany, which I believe is a liberal country. So it's like you just... No, because I think you guys... I think it's currently liberal, but I mean, just like Canada, you have different parties that can be in charge. But I think overall you guys might be liberal, if I'm not mistaken. Same with Canada. Like, there's different parties, but usually it's always liberals who are in charge. It's getting worse for sure, but besides that, it's good. I'm assuming you're talking about Germany. Yeah, because I don't really know 100% what goes on in Europe besides what I hear, mainly having to do with like the UK, a bunch of stabbings going on over there. Yeah, I don't really know much of Europe. Like, yeah, much of it. But yeah, the United States, I don't know. I feel like the left is turning far left, and some of the Republicans are kind of the former liberals. Because I don't know, because you can't trust everything on the media, but at least from what I see on the media, Donald Trump was a former liberal, but he separated from them and became a Republican because the liberals are, I think after Clinton in the 90s, they're just going far left. And because Donald Trump's point of view is the same as the former liberals, because they had the same ideas. There are videos of like Biden having the same point of view as Donald Trump, but never took any action. But Donald Trump is the only one trying to take the actions that they believed in back in the 90s, and now the far left is just, nope, he's a bad person. I'm not saying I fully support Trump, because I feel like there's just a division between both parties, and that's just riling up everybody, and it just makes no sense. Because realistically, you need to hear both sides and form your own opinion instead of just listening to one side. Depending on what you compare to, liberal is not the context we would talk about in your politics. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't really compare it because at least here it seems like there's different categories because I don't know, there's like socialist, you're put in the category of liberal. Communism, you're put in the category of liberal. Yeah, because I don't know. Like again, you can't trust everything you see on the media, but at least the video that I saw of Trump when he was a liberal, he had the same point of view that he has now about like the narcos, like basically taking control, and as he is doing now by like blowing up their ships, like making an action to prevent drugs from getting into the United States. That's the same point of view the liberals had back in the 90s. But he eventually split away from them, and then the liberals back then did not like them. Liberals, as in the party back in the day, started disliking him because he left the party when I think they were turning further left, far left, meaning the party was changing a different direction per se. And assuming Trump did not like that, he went to the Republican side with the same point of views. And then now he is implementing those views in his power, and the far left is not liking it for some reason. Even though they had the same point of views, and they have videos of them saying that they want basically the same actions to be done. What changed? I have no idea. But I am not in the mindset to like track everything down and make sure I know the truth. As you see it, the only thing Trump is doing to dismantle the U.S. is still actual beliefs. Yeah, I don't know. Everything is going to go downhill, regardless in who's in charge. I kind of see both parties. I just don't know if both parties are like somehow working together to separate people, because if there was only one party per se, then if people didn't like it, with the unrest, they would be out of power. But if you separate people, you will stay in power. I don't know. It's a big topic. Show. Increasing Diplo. Spending. Can we integrate you now? We cannot because they're still not at 150. Jumped in, not hearing any of the conversations, but something funny Trump did was when he said, "We are preparing to take Greenland by force." And then in the economy forum, he did double back and just said, "Oh, I didn't mean it," but yeah, I mean, I understand wanting Greenland as a strategic thing, but taking it by force, like, why? Like, we're not in a time where we could just take what we want by force. Because it's like in EU5, like, big coalition would happen. Like, everyone will be against the United States as it is right now. Even though we're still have relations with Europe, you know, as allies per se, kind of. We're still in good terms, but this is just a big topic that's pissing everyone off. It's completely false in any some yeah, I'm not just saying the left is. I mean, for sure the right is also far right. Oh, no worries about jumping in. Yeah, I did hear that the United States wanted Greenland a long time ago, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a point in history where Denmark offered Greenland to the United States, but they denied it. Yeah, currently, yes, the United States isn't in good terms with Europe, but like it depends who's in power. But yeah, right now it seems like everyone's just pissed off with the United States. All the tariffs and all of these things. But like if a war were to happen per se, like China declaring war on probably not China. Like if Russia were to declare war on Europe, then I'm sure the United States would still step in. But vice versa, like China declaring war on Taiwan, and I don't think Europe would join. Or at least it would take a long time. I'm just saying if Russia were to declare war on anyone in the Union. But obviously I don't think that would happen right now because of the Ukraine. Appease the estates or might get the reputation. But yeah, the world is very messy, and I don't think it's gonna go anywhere positive. But I don't think the US would have to do anything about it. Well, yes, if you see that, but I don't think the United States wants to lose not lose, but I don't think the United States will want to have the European Union get any smaller. So I think that would be the main reason why I think the United States would step in is to protect the Union because the United States wouldn't want communism to expand. I think Russia kind of screwed themselves. Um, I mean, yes, it looks like Russia is screwing themselves. From what I hear, if it's true or not. They're mainly using their weak and older equipment. I mean, I do hear articles about their economy going down, which yes, but I don't know. I don't know if they're screwing themselves, they're screwing their economy, or if they're using low tech equipment first and they're saving their better equipment for like a bigger war first. Because it's pretty dangerous for Russia and China to have that an alliance right now. Because that is a pretty strong alliance. I mean, right now, yes, Russia looks very weak. But uh, I don't know. You just don't know behind the scenes, you know? Because we can all see the articles about Russia being weak or their economy's going to collapse or X, Y, and Z, but behind the scenes, it can be different. How many years has it been? Wasn't it like 2022? 3 years? 4 years? Well, they may not have an alliance, but like, they're part of BRICS. It seems like because I think historically they hate each other, but like currently they're being pushed closer together. Because didn't Russia want to join NATO back in the early 2000s, but they were denied? Because if that is true and they were denied, then that would push Russia as on their own, and they would have to look around them to see what other alliances could be formed. Yeah, they did. um, yeah, I could see that. They wanted to break the United States, but now Trump is doing it. That's funny. Funny, but not funny. Privateering. Yeah, like you said, it's a messy world. If the world really wanted to be better, then I think we would have seen at least more positive things than negative, but clearly not. Show. That's maxed out. Can we integrate now? No. Oh, we're at war. It's a rebellion down there. And that does bring all of my colonies, so I'm pretty sure they should take care of that themselves. Yeah, and that's like the information we don't hear. All I heard was that they were denied. But if Putin wanted to join and obviously change things so NATO really doesn't become NATO, then that makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense. That would make more sense. Yeah, you can't just join a union that's been formed for X amount of years and just be like, nope, I'll join. But this has to change. If that is the case, then obviously that makes sense. The world really wouldn't be a better place if it didn't have paradox games. Yeah, we need to keep Sweden saved because I'm pretty sure that's where they are. Goes against human nature, exactly. We have to protect Sweden. Um, you want a little bit of money? Sure. Equinox, would you be against upgrading troops and navy? Since you should, we should stack the money for the event. Where did the event go? It's not in here. Oh wait, duh, it's right here. I was looking for purple. Because my navies do need to be upgraded. And that's going to cost about 2k. You're from Finland and you're in the reserves. Well, that is good. You keep them safe. So is Paradox from Finland or Sweden? Pretty sure it was Sweden, right? I see. So I see. So we're not going to earn any incomes, which is why we're stacking money. So I'm taking that as a no. You should not upgrade your ships. Exactly. You're between Russia and Finland, yeah. Yeah, because Finland's like here. And Finland is not in NATO, right? But you guys were trying to enter NATO, and then Russia was trying to tell you guys, no, you cannot. You cannot enter. I'm not trying to lose money. Oh, you guys are? They joined in late 24. Got it. Yeah, but Russia was thinking they could be Big Daddy and be like, nope, you cannot join. Otherwise, we will declare war on you. But Finland was like, nope, F you. So we need to get out of this. Yeah, after Ukraine. Yeah, that's what I heard. They could take them after a couple months, but I don't know. They couldn't. Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the US um, equipment is helping. Because army-wise, as you said, Ukraine was very poor, and Russia is definitely stronger. But what I don't get is, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the North Korea sending troops to Russia? Like, how is that not, like, a bigger thing? And then now, has or is France sending troops? Or are there troops already fighting in Ukraine? Like, this seems like kind of like a World War kind of thing going on. Conflict of the court. Here's the event, right? And I need to appoint some peeps. Well, even if they weren't, the troops weren't good from North Korea, like still, like the point being, a different country is joining in way after the war started, and then now there's like talks about, you know, European countries trying to step up and fight the war too. If I'm not, there were mercenaries. uh, oof. Currently, they're recruiting Africans en masse for Russia. Well, I guess. They will bend the knee to the authority. We gain absolute influence in the government for 20 years. So, Equinox, I'm pretty sure this is the start. So the absolute estate satisfaction minus 15%. We gain absolutism. We gain 20 towards absolutism. Revoke privileges, crown power plus 6. We lose state satisfaction, threshold. And we steer towards it, minus 50. I thought you said it was minus 80 for absolute. Uh, yeah, I guess. Oh, you thought it was 80? Yeah, I guess they were just bad mercenaries. Yeah, so I guess it's just volunteers, not like... And then, or go liberal influence. The recovery rate is plus 0.10. Monthly progress 0.20 for 20 years. Revoke. Okay, so... So there's no difference? Oh no, it's still showing absolutism. Why is it showing absolutism if I'm hovering over liberalism to see what... So you gain more satisfaction, culture capacity, pop rebel threshold, parliament request issue support needed. I mean, I would like to be absolutism. So you said it was negative 50. So you're just gonna have a... Your estate's pissed off for 20 years. Decaying modifiers are like regular modifiers, but their effects gradually weakens as they near their expiration date. This creates temporary changes. So it will decrease. Yeah, I don't think we will survive that. But basically you could always go back. Right? Steer back. Because we're going towards absolutism. Because if you go liberal, you're going to go plus 20 towards liberal, but you're still steering towards absolutism. Crazy topic, by the way. Yep. Heck with stability. Yellow. You have 100 stability, isn't that a no-brainer? I mean, yeah, stability, no problem. It's just the estates being pissed off, minus 15%. It's going to go over, it's going to decrease over time in the next 20 years, but you're not going to earn money from them, at least with some of them. So I could save the game, select it, see how pissed off they are, and see how much money we're earning. But yes, I understand that liberalism is a much easier way. How many privileges have we granted? None. If you mean by the estates, we barely have much with the nobles. But yeah, let's save. You go yellow move. We saved the game, so we could always switch back. So let's go with absolutism, lose stability, and see what happens with the estates. How are they going to... My ally wants to join and support with this rebellion that's out here. That makes no sense. They're silly. Okay, so now we are losing 500. So, okay. So they're not paying. Oh, okay. Never mind. So it will decrease to 35. Whew. I needed to get down to 70 privileges for absolutism. So because we're losing a bunch of money, like you said, we can't support annexing. Maintenance. Oh, and army should go down. So we're at -4 ducats. And we can't really do anything else. Unmaintained forts. Yeah, it was the forts and the army that were costing us a bunch. Anyways, you need to get a advisor to promote values. Try reading the disaster and see what you need to do to get out early. Food too. We could decrease food by a little bit. So now we're at 1 ducat. So nobility needs to be at 65. That's gonna take a while. Because they're not paying any taxes. So giving them some control privileges would help. Same with the burghers, because the burghers are fine, commoners are fine. Everyone else is just terrible. We could decrease, but I mean, that's not really going to do much. Well, at least that would appease some of them. If I leave them there. Our crown power has to be greater or equal to 41. How would you do that without taking away privileges? So the burgers... No, because the burgers still need to be at 65. So revoking would not be a good thing besides the clergy. Wait, what? Because the clergy has to be 65, which they're going to go down. Oh, it's because they're at 76 right now, but they're going to go down to 48. Put food at like 2 upkeep, and you'll be fine. The one for absolutism is revoking privileges. Yes, which ideally I would want. Because I would eventually like to take the levies out. Because we're not really using levies. Allowing them to expand the RGO is kind of nice. But it seems like we need to give them privileges in order to satisfy them. But that's going to lower our crown power, which is not helping us at all. You can lower food and no one will starve. In 4 years, everyone starves anyways. In your Ottoman save, I have food at 2 upkeep, and no one is starving. Oh, you're saying revoke. And it's a bad idea to lower food because they will get unhappy. 2. So I have 20. $26. I have 26 privileges. So you're saying that I need to lower these to only have 14 to gain the crown power. But how is that going to work if I need all of their satisfaction to be at 65? Everyone is fed even with low food. Maybe your game is bugged? Because wouldn't it just be easier to just like reload and go liberal? And then once the event is completely gone, steer back towards absolutism. We have the disaster for 10 years. Oh, at least one of these. Right? We have the disaster greater than 20 years. You're not noticing that the unhappiness of the estates lowers max control? Is that what you're saying? I'm clearly reading something wrong. I guess I'm blobbing. Does max control matters if you own everything? Now we are losing more money. If you're not by food, the pups get unhappy and lower max control. I see. So you're saying you should still keep the food up. Because I think the majority, I think we are producing our own food. I think there might be one or two places where we are buying. You have 50% crown power in half of Russia. And all the Middle East and North Africa. Whew, yeah, you are a big blob. And what year are you at? Same as me, 1650 or showish. Yeah, I just did not expand that crazy because I wanted to at least make sure I have, control. Instead of expanding too much, I guess focusing on economy as well as expanding. But I'm in a stopping place because my vassals are just too pissed because their power compared to mine is not too great. We're like almost even Steven. After picking Mamluks, we get easier to blob. Yeah, it is. I mean, we could easily take them, but choosing not to. Because I'm not trying to take the land for myself. I want my vassals to take control of it so they can pay me more taxes. Put the land to use. But I guess I went a little bit too much with them. And now we have like almost equal power. Equinox, if you're talking about zero loyalty, if you're speaking about the vassals, yes, that's one main reason is because stipulous spending is at 0. 2, it's because of their power, military power, if I can find. Relative population, no. Where was it? Somewhere shows their power compared to us. But if you're talking about estates, then, I mean, that's obvious. Yeah, the Mamluks are for sure. The only way is for the Crusades. That's the only way I was able to beat them is by the Crusades. Basically kind of joining them in my own war. Your estates being unhappy means less levies, and thus they feel stronger. I mean, now for sure. Okay, so I see. So now because they're unhappy, less levies. Less levies means that the overall vassals are even more unhappy and loyal because they are stronger than they were previously. So there's nothing really else we can lower besides food, but I don't want to drop that. And I don't want to decrease the size of the army. Naval maintenance. Just a hair. We fought them pretty early with the... Yeah, which they are currently my ally as well. After beating the Mamluks, I turned on the Middle East, and now my campaign is kind of like a EU4 world conquest, which is fighting coalitions after another, which is kind of boring as well. Yeah. Yeah, I thought of turning against my ally, but after the first crusade against me, even though I won it, I was just like, I'd rather have a big ally that has a bunch of vassals. Just so they could be my minions. You stopped getting rebels after conquering the Mamluks. I just don't get them anymore. Maybe because of army power? Yeah, potentially. You have Sicily and South Italy as a vassal too. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Did you start your game with a new beta version, or did you move your old file into the beta? Yes, so maybe that could be a reason I might be having issues, is because this is my old file that I moved into 1.1, and I've been noticing that, well, not sure about noticing, but I'm not sure. There are some certain bugs, like for example, I can't see my markets, even though it's not disabled. It's showing that there are 0 markets. Not that it's not working, I just can't see them. And then 2, you could see with my economy, when you go to base tax, you can see this big dip right here. When I switched the old file into 1.1, everything was just expensive. So apparently I was able to keep a big army, but once I switched into 1.1, where I believe it's when they added the units, the regiments are much bigger as the ages go. So I think I had like 3 big stacks, but once they were transferred, obviously the unit stacks expanded, because I don't know what it was previously. So I think in the age of Reformation they were at 15. Now with absolutism they're at 20, or 2k. So I think that was the big reason for the dip. I had to delete like 2 big stacks basically. And I don't know. I think the estates were just building too much buildings that it just wasn't being profitable. I don't know. Something was going on, and I had to delete a bunch of buildings because they were just building too much. Tool economy bug and whatever it's called. Yeah, that bug with the estates. Building too much. And they're just like, here, let me build this for you, but here's the bill. Have you had the 3rd Year's War? I would assume not. Is it a civil war or something? Because I haven't had any war. Or civil war. Or 3-year war. Not sure exactly what war you're talking about. But I do need to end the stream. Gotta wake up the boy, get him ready for school. Any last thoughts? Our save games are very different. Yeah, and I think that might be why, because changing the files, I had like one stream where the entire stream was basically dedicated to recovering our economy. For whatever reason, this base tax tanked right here. Basically from there all the way down here, we were like maybe making 1 ducat and or losing money. So I don't know exactly what was going on there. I mean, the Reformation War, the HRE. I don't know. I don't recall any kind of war. So unless the game is bugged, because really nothing is going on in the EU besides, I guess, rebellions. Because the UK was basically, or I guess British Empire, had a big civil war that lasted, I don't even know how many years, a long time. They were like the great power, now they're no longer great power. They had, because of that civil war. They were definitely up in the 5, now they're at 13. I think Denmark had a big civil war as well. They've recovered from that, but they're still not great. Thanks for streaming. Have a good time. And good luck with your CDL. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and chatting. That definitely always makes the stream much funner. Because it's not always about the game. It's about, you know, the community. Chatting. I didn't have it either, but I have an event going on in Europe. Reformation is spreading in Europe. Can you show your religious screen? So they're still having the Lutheran Reformation. So I don't recall of any event bringing up the Reformation. I mean, I could be wrong. I could have just deselected it. I don't know what happened. Sorry, Gus. I'm just spamming the chat and you're not playing the game. It's no problem. Your map is so much more blue in Europe. Yeah, I'm not playing the game right now because I'm going to be ending the stream. And I was just trying to chat with any last thoughts, basically. Yeah, even in my offline game with Castile, it's basically the same. But I also dragged the old version into 1.1, so I don't know if it's a bug or anything. But that's also kind of the fun of the game because the game is still so new. Yeah. And there's many things that can happen. Before you save, don't forget to set an advisor to prompt values. True. Which values again? Increasing estate satisfaction? Or did you mean changing the these values? So I know you mentioned it earlier, but I forgot. Was it steering more towards absolutism? Which will actually piss him off even more. I think you ran 1.1 and you didn't. Maybe 1. I think I have 1.1.3. Absolutism. And then I should make sure... yeah, so we have... no. Yeah, we need a good military person. So we have 98, perfect. And then we have one more slot. Wait, I don't think you have absolutism or liberal. Maybe I don't know. Well, it depends what year you're at, because if you need to be in absolutism, in the age of absolutism, for the event to come on. Yeah, so you haven't been there yet, so that's why. So now you know. Yeah, looks like we're still converting. But much more Sunni than I was. Maybe your 30-year war passed already? You mean with the HRE? Probably, if... I don't know. Either I didn't get an event or I just canceled it because I canceled it. I don't know. Yeah, the archery war. Yeah, I don't recall. But then again, sometimes I just ignore it. Ignore any other events because it's not my problem. I don't know, we're still losing more money. Equinox, obviously you said to stockpile your money. In your game, were you still in negative income? Or or did you still manage to have a little bit of positive income? Because either we can let this money run dry, or we can or we could also increase minting and gain some inflation. No, but there are events. Uh-oh. So any final thing I should focus on with an advisor, since we currently have a slot open? I mean, we can obviously change things around, but... 30-Year War is the historic name for it. You managed to have positive income, but you didn't pay for most things in the events, I'm assuming. So we still have a war there. If I'm going to go absolutism, you need to revoke some privileges. Which won't help my case, but the main point is to get that crown power up. Yes, so I do have stab, so appeasement of states. Appease the states. Oh, it only costs 12. Nice. Mm. And you said we need to have at least a total of 14, right? Uh, That's a true faith. Max diplomat. Stability investment. That is true. So they're in the low 30s right now. But yeah, I think I will just leave it at that for now. But alrighty, well, thank you both for stopping and chatting. I will be streaming basically Monday through Friday, same time. So that's the target, not the current. True. Up here. Oh yeah, we do need to put someone here. We need Diplo. Got an 83. I'll use this guy. Okay, so we need a military guy. But yeah, anyways, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure to hit that follow button if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.